What's up, everybody? We're back with another Amir Odom video, and this one is titled Why People Don't Like Body Positivity and Fat Acceptance. I think it was mentioning about the Jubilee video a while ago where I forgot the lady's name who's, help people, lose weight and everything like that. Getting, I remember the video. Because normally when people got to race to the, from their chairs to the center, they have to, you notice they have to move the chairs a little closer so they don't have to run so far. It's kind of funny if you think about it. It's like, oh, there's a weight issue with people that you have to move the chairs closer so they don't have to run too far. I was like, nah. You should have kept the chairs at the same radius that they always been and make those people run. Like honestly, like even I have a gut that I've been running some time at the gym, but very busy. Like look, I'm still like taking the time to kind of do some sit-ups and use the rowing machine I have here in my room every once in a while, so I can still get like a good workout in. But I still like the idea of lifting weights, but crazy how expensive they are. Anyway, I will link the original video in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure you show your support to Amir Odom's channel. Follow me on my YouTube and Twitch channel, Talkative Carl, as I stream games, react to videos, and review content. So without further ado, let's check out the video.
To get on the plane.
I can anybody on the street.
From Jillian Michaels' surrounded episode on Jubilee to Southwest facing backlash for discriminating against people, in this video we'll be going through it all and talking about why so many people are against body positivity and the whole fat acceptance movement. And off the bat, let this be a reminder that you're not alone for thinking the way that you do. If you like real, honest commentary like this, then be sure to—
Matter of fact, remember when it was like a whole thing where you see all these little plus size models in magazines and videos? You know how quickly they gotten rid of all that stuff? Because most people want to see good looking people on these little covers, something to aspire to, something nice to goon at for a little bit, men and women. But it's not fat acceptance for men. There's no like men's magazine with like a guy with a gut, because most girls don't want to see that. So they still maintain like a good looking dude for girls to goon over. But when it comes to women, it's a different story. It's the same thing when you look at something like video games, where it's okay to have hunky Leon Kennedy and Resident Evil for girls to goon over, but God forbid there's fit, hot, young women in video games for guys to look over. Oh, that's a no-no. You should accept me for who I am kind of attitude. It's like, you don't get, God, it's just like, this whole acceptance thing need to be done over completely, or have some caveats to it.
to subscribe. It helps the channel grow a ton. Let's get right into this video.
I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat body.
You're an eating disorder therapist and you refuse to say the O word, which she's talking about obese, and you prefer to use the term fat bodied. That sounds more offensive than anything. I feel like
fat body is kind of funny.
Like what this interaction really sets up and what it really highlights.
It's a shame that who gets me like a doctor or like a therapist or whatever. It's just to be like sensitive and everything like that. It's okay. You have a bedside manner, but you can use words. Because we should be tiptoeing around certain words and being offended by every little thing imaginable. She shouldn't be working in a space that she is if she can't even use the word obese without triggering anybody. If you're triggered by a word, then stay in your house. Don't listen to people. Because people shouldn't police their words over fear of hurting somebody's little fifis. You can tell, like, because I was at Jubilee Center in California, so of course there's gonna be a lot of super wokies there, and this one this woman here. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna use the O word. I'm not gonna use the O word because like I think it's like offensive. It's like, then quit your job. Okay, your job is probably dealing with people who are obese, overweight, fat. So it's like you're gonna have to use the words. I'm pretty sure there's technical terms for them. But just to cut to the quick, you're going to use those like simplified words in order to get your point across. And sometimes people need their feelings hurt every once in a while. Build up some thicker skin, no pun intended.
Is how coddled we are treating people in society and how we're trying to be so nice, so empathetic. Oh, we can't say this, can't say that. That's a part of the problem. Refusing to say the words obese from a food therapist because you don't want to hurt somebody or you think it's a slur, that's a problem in itself. I feel like as a society, we've grown to be just way too empathetic. We're way too nice, way too kind. And not to say that I want everything to be evil or bad, but damn, when you get to a point where you're just so like fake nice, it gets a little off. It does. I don't want to use the term obese because it hurts somebody's feeling. Well, then damn it, oh well. If it hurts their feelings, it hurts their feelings. But if they're obese, then they're obese. What do you want to do about it? What are you going to call it? You'd rather use the term fat-bodied? No, you're obese. I don't know what else to tell you.
You introduced yourself. You talked about being a health advocate. Does your advocacy include making sure that people are not discriminated against?
Without question.
So how do you do that for people in larger?
Does your advocacy include making sure that people are not discriminated against? That is a loaded question and an unrealistic question because to a certain degree, anything and everything can be seen as discriminatory. We don't live in a society that's going to please every single person out there. By definition, technically, the house that I live in right now is discriminatory against anyone in a wheelchair because I don't have a ramp on my front porch. There are things in life that you're just gonna be discriminated against for. Okay, a clear example of this would be when you're at a water park and you're going on the water slide, and what do? They weigh you. You have to get weighed before you go on the water slide because if you're too big, you're gonna break the damn slide. You're not gonna be able to slide down it. You're gonna be discriminated against because of your weight. But the only reason that's a thing is because like it's proven like you're just big. That's why the scale is there. Or even a roller coaster. Before you get on a roller coaster, you have the test seats. You can make sure you can fit in it. And if you're too big, you just can't get on the roller coaster, and that's gonna be seen as discriminatory to some people. But again, like I said before, we don't live in a society that can please every single body out there. That's not realistic. So no, I don't see how you can live in a society or be someone that can advocate for every single person to not be discriminated against when there's clear examples of that oftentimes being a thing. Another one being airplanes. If you are too big and you're spilling over into the next seat and you're just an inconvenience as an existence because you're that big, of course you can be discriminated against. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's not the plane's fault for not making bigger seats to accommodate for you being super big, because the same thing applies to super tall people too. They're shit out of luck too on planes. And it's not even so much for the big people, little people too. If you are too skinny, if you're too thin, you can't get on a roller coaster. There's just safety precaution for some things, and at some point you're gonna be discriminated against. I don't know what to tell you. It reminds me of those content creators that just make content all about them not being able to find their sizes in certain brands that they love to shop at because they done got too damn big. You can't be mad that this clothing company doesn't have a 6X, 5X. Like, that's ridiculous. At that point, you just need to lose weight. I'm not saying you have to be super skinny. That's alarming too, and that is a problem. Being anorexic, being super thin, that's a problem in itself. But being this big, it does bring up issues, and you're gonna run into scenarios where you're gonna be discriminated against, and that's just life. But I will say, if you are gonna be discriminated against, it needs to come with some sort of basis or fact behind it, like a scale before getting on a water slide. That's clear. Instead of just looking at someone saying, no, you're too fat to get on this water slide, they're like, no, step on the scale, the slide's built for this, the engineers say this, you can't get on it because you're too big. That's a clear representation of like cause and effect, I guess. But when it comes to Southwest, which you're about to get into, some of these gate agents are just looking at people and saying, you're too fat, you can't get on a plane. Crazy.
At the Kansas City airport for my 6:30, 7 a.m. flight, checking my bags, right? And I was just checking in my bag at the priority lane because I fly priority. I fly all the time, right? A-list preferred, priority with everything else. Now, I understand Southwest changed their policy where, you know, if they feel like you might be big enough to need an extra seat, that they can ask you to pay for one. But I have never run into that.
See, I think it's kind of crazy. I think they need to see if you can fit in the seat, and if you are spilling over, then they can say, hey, in order for you to be on this plane, you need to like buy the extra seat that's next to you because it's not a full flight, or they need to have the scale. You got the scale for the bags, get the scale for the people. Hey, like a roller coaster seat. Hello? You step on the scale, you too big to get on the plane. And you got to drop to your destination. I'm gonna tell you. That makes more sense to me. Having the scale, it sounds crazy, but it makes more sense. Same like a roller coaster. If you're too big for the roller coaster, you can't get on. So if you're too big for the plane, you can't get on. But you can't just look at somebody and say that. You should at least be busting out the scale. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about that? It's pretty interesting, but if I'm thinking about the water slide scenario.
What are those people at the amusement parks that guess your weight? You should have one of those. There's some people like at the airport or the amusement parks, and it's like right by the water slides, and it's like, first let me guess your weight. Like, yeah, it's like 325 pounds. It's like, yeah, you too big.
I mean, shit. What? I don't know what to tell y'all.
The lady at the counter had to go get her supervisor because they felt that I was too big to get on the plane without paying for 2 seats when I fly weekly and sit in my seat just fine. And the lady had the audacity.
Yeah, painted nails and a nose piercing and where the heck that's in the bridge of your nose. You shouldn't be flying just on the basis of that alone, dude. That's just me. It's like, typically people like that are weirdos.
I'm just concerned about the people sitting next to you for their comfortability. Well, what about my comfortability with the conversation having in front of all of these people about how you think I'm too big to fly? When, keep in mind, I know I'm a hefty guy, but I've lost over 60 pounds since Christmas. I fit in the seat just fine. Everyone is comfortable. We're good.
Just because you can fit don't mean you're not interrupting somebody else's time on the plane. I done sat next to some big people before on the plane, and that was some of the worst flights in my life. I'm sorry. When I'm like squished over to the side and our thighs are rubbing. Why are our thighs rubbing on the plane? No. I do think what Southwest is doing, and I've seen a couple more videos like this where the gate agent's like, "No, you too big." That's a lawsuit. It sounds like a lawsuit. I don't know. If they were to back it up, like that's crazy as hell. Had a sample seat like the roller coasters here at the gate. Here's a sample seat. If you don't fit in the seat, then you gotta buy first or buy exit row or the seat next to you, or you just can't get on the plane. I don't know, but that this kind of discrimination, it does get very, very tricky.
You care so much about someone else's body in order to like try and argue against body positivity. Like, say someone's like fat, obese, whatever,
Guys,
walking on the street,
her
that
titties
doesn't
are
actually
tittying.
affect you as a person.
It doesn't affect me as a person individually when I see a fat person, but when I see someone harping on about body positivity and loving yourself in your body, to a certain point, you are promoting harm. You are promoting a very, very unhealthy lifestyle, proven to be unhealthy, proven to be dangerous. If you're just out there telling people it's okay being big, love yourself being big, get bigger, stay big, it doesn't matter, that is dangerous. It actually is. It actually does harm people. Again, same way being too skinny. Being too skinny is very harmful. I'm all for body positivity in the sense of loving the skin that you're in and getting away from this, you have to look like a chiseled model. No, like loving your body no matter where it's at in this average baseline of like a little below average, and then above average, loving your body in that. But if you are too skinny or you are too fat, there's no reason. Ooh, this conversation sticky. There's no reason for you to be like positive in your body. Like, you should work on that. You need to.
Yeah, there is like a limit to the whole positivity part to it. There's a limit to what is acceptable. Okay? You're below average, above average in terms of like weight. All right. You know, or even comes to like your color of your skin. Okay. Or if you're like a paraplegic or you or amputee. Okay, that's where the whole body positivity will come in, definitely. But if you're like darn near 400 pounds, or you're so skinny a slight breeze will topple you over, then you're in dangerous territory, life-threatening territory, because that's unhealthy. Okay? You're at the point of life-threatening positions where it has to be called out and addressed. You don't get the same like care as somebody like, you know what I mean? This is like, you think like that body positivity should be like all aspects, all across the board, with no guardrails, with no context to the matter. It's like, no. There's a limit. There should be a limit. If you're 400 pounds or if you're 50 pounds soaking wet, then you're in the dangerous territory. Life-threatening territory. We're trying to like help you stay alive. God forbid that people, your fellow man will try to like, keep that under control just to preserve your life as long as possible.
To gain weight or lose weight. because it's just not good. It's just not. It's just not good being dangerously skinny, and it's not good being dangerously big. None of that is to come off as offensive or hateful. It's just the fact of the matter. Not to say that average body people can't have health ailments either, and they aren't getting sick either. They are getting sick. But we already know being too thin is very, very dangerous for your body, and being too big is very dangerous for your body. So I think body positivity should lie in this. You don't have to look like a chiseled model to be happy with your body, to be healthy. No, it's to love yourself, love your skin, love how you are, love how you appear, you know, for all the small, medium, and large people. What do you think? Is that crazy? Is that like too harmful? I just feel like if we know it's literally harmful being super skinny and we know it's super harmful being super big, then like what's the problem with calling that out? So if you're out here rooting and tooting for body positivity and you're big AF, that is a problem, and I will speak out about it like in this video, because you're literally harming yourself. That is what that is doing. Are there situations where you can be big and still be considered healthy because you don't have a lot of visceral fat, like sumo wrestlers or like big linebackers? Sure, those scenarios exist, but for the average person out there, just no, that's not how this works.
And why when people bring up how skinny Hollywood is, y'all be talking about this is body shaming, we shouldn't be commenting on other people's bodies. Shut up. Yes, we should. Yeah, we should. It gets to a point when it is genuinely concerning for these people's health. So if multiple people are now concerned for these people's health, yeah, it should be talked about. It should. People shouldn't be extremely anorexic. I shouldn't be able to see your entire anatomy.
Hello. Just
like people should not be morbidly obese. You know, there's a show, My 600-Pound Life, because it gets to a point when it's dangerous for your life.
Hello. We should talk about it. We need to bring back the shaming, honestly, because the shaming can help save somebody's life. That does highlight the toxic side of body positivity, in that you can be so positive, you ignore what's actually harming somebody. That's stupid AF. Like if someone's super skinny, that needs to be discussed. If someone's super big, needs to be discussed. Especially if you love them and you actually care about them, you should be helping them. That's hello. I feel like homegirl. It's just common sense at this point.
I'm being real. This whole body positivity thing, I feel like it has allowed a lot of y'all to be enabled to do shit that you probably shouldn't be doing. To have addictions that you probably shouldn't have. You know, like not eating whatever the fuck it is. It has gotten out of hand. And I'm just going to be real and say that. Body positivity and body shaming mean absolutely fucking nothing if you look like you could drop dead tomorrow.
Exactly. If you look like you're about to drop dead, that is an issue within itself. And you don't need to be a doctor to see that. You don't need to be no licensed therapist to see that. No, it's clear as day what anorexia looks like and what obesity looks like. Both issues. Hello, they have names. They're both issues. And this whole body positivity movement becomes toxic when you ignore that. So like homegirl, I'm right there with her. We can talk about these things right here openly. It is what it is.
Hey, Delta, listen.
How privileged do you have to be in an airport lounge? Delta, your robes, they're too tiny. Like, you need some plus size robes. No, they don't. This is what I'm talking about, where it's fine. Like, this can be seen as she's like, oh, I'm being discriminated against because the robes are too tiny. Girl, you too big. What do you want? Like, what do you want people to do? That's ridiculous for them to be expected to stock a car cover. I'm
See, here's the thing. Like, I used to be like a 3XL shirt type of guy, but now like I'm 2XL, and like I still like, you know, work out as much as I can. So like that'd be like I would love that, where I can just, you know, focus on my, you know, acting. Like if I get, you know, privileged enough to like just solely focus on acting and have that be my, you know, sole career, and work on other stuff that, you know, like I want to do, so that way I can make like passive income. So I can spend most of my time at the gym as much as I want, because I like going to the gym, because it's like my kind of like a you know, like I can love some steam, some de-stressor kind of stuff, because I like to do that. So I can, like, you know, so I don't have to worry about, like, because it was just, it's freeing in a way. Because it's like, because I like going to the gym, but it's not enough time out of the day to do that. I like making videos, I like playing video games, and I love to act. And that's primarily what I like to be able to do. But of course, I got day jobs. We got to make sure we pay certain bills. I just hope that one day I can just, you know, make, you know, acting my main career, and possibly do some other entrepreneurial stuff I can make passive income that way as well, so I can benefit from having, you know, more time at the gym, and just like, you know, probably lose more pounds and stuff like that, because it's like, yeah, I like the gym. I really, really like the gym. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and go. Luckily, I'm not as big as this, but you know, I'm not gonna give. Even when I was that big, I was gonna give like store owners or hotels or whomever grief because of my weight. Luckily I never had that kind of thought process back in the day. But it's just like, and a lot of women eat this crap up. It was like this whole body positivity because, you know, this propaganda where it's like, oh, don't have to feel shame. I can just do what I want while being held to task. I can cry on the internet and people will come back me up and I can get away with stuff. Instead of being told, no, you too fucking fat, you probably should drop a few pounds, or you're too freaking skinny, you need to eat a dang sandwich, otherwise you might kill over. The world doesn't have to accommodate for your sensibilities. We have to like make specialized seats on the airplane just for you. Like we have a society built for the general public, from like maybe, you know, small, medium, large, extra large, and probably 2X is probably just barely pushing it, but just, you know, I think that would probably be like a cutoff. But when you're approaching 400 pounds plus or 100 pounds negative in terms of size, it's dangerous territory and it has to be addressed. You're in the life-threatening area. You're in the red. And we as a society generally want to help. Are generally concerned. Remember like Cynthia Erivo and like Ariana Grande getting, teased by the fact that how skinny they look is generally over concern because like, okay, why are they getting so doggone skinny? What is it about this movie behind the scenes? What's going on behind the scenes that's causing these people to look like Nosferatu? It's only legit general concern because that's unhealthy. It's weird looking and it's unhealthy.
I'm sorry. It gets to a point where y'all really be excessive. Y'all really be doing the most when it comes to this shit. You really do. When you do nothing but sit here, bitch, moan, and complain about this world and how you're being viewed when you look like you could drop dead. I don't want to hear from you. I don't. And I know there's the other side of the argument. Well, you don't have to react or you don't have to talk about it. We have to discuss it because people like this advocate for body positivity and fat acceptance and love yourself in your body. That's not real. I'm all for you loving yourself if you are healthy and in that range of healthy. But when you are more obese, and you getting seatbelt extenders, you spilling over into people's seat, you can't buy clothes anywhere.
I forgot about the seatbelt extenders.
That's a problem.
The lab coat at best.
You look like a cake.
Please get some bigger rolls for plus size passengers.
They don't need to cater to plus size. Delta, you're doing just fine. Sweetie, you are doing fine. You just need to cater to the average body people, and that's it. Because again, if someone was anorexic, they'd be swallowed up in it. It affects them too. But I'm sorry that they don't make the big ass robes for you. They don't have to. But oh, my weight this, body positivity this, fat acceptance this. Girl, bye.
Okay, Samara girl.
God.
I love you. I love you.
Come on now.
But girl, it's our fault. It's our fault. Like, I'm not even trying to be one of them. I swear to God, I love you, girl, for real. But we gotta take some of the blame too on why our big ass sizes is not in the store.
Thank you. This person is reacting to the big black girl we just saw, Samira. There's another big black girl saying, hey, I love your content, but like at some point we gotta take responsibility. We have to be accountable to how big we have gotten. We have to understand why our size of clothes is not going to be in every Target, every Marshalls, every JCPenney, every Hollister, every American Eagle. It's not going to happen because you're too damn big and it's unrealistic for all these brands to be carrying all these heavy ass weights and all these big ass sizes. They're gonna lose product for themselves. That makes no sense. If the brand offers it online, that makes more sense because they can just make, like I say, 1,000 5XLs and they have it in a warehouse and it's ready to be shipped for someone who want to buy it. But if it's all marketing, if there's not that many people, thank you, it's marketing, Amir. Like if your area has a lot of average sized people and you come bouncing in the store, boom, 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 and you 5XL, why would you ever expect a brand to carry that big? That's like expecting me to find a Bugatti dealership in every city because there's at least one rich ass person in every city. No. Supply and demand, marketing. Where are your people at? Where should I put a business at? Sorry, there's not a lot of big people like you out here walking in the stores, waddling in the stores, trying to buy some clothes.
But literally, y'all, I just don't want to keep seeing my girl on here arguing down the fact that we don't have fat clothes when we the reason why they gotta extend the clothes size. We out of hand.
Thank you.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
I love personal accountability. I love when a big girl can just be like, I'm big and it's my fault. Love you down. I'm glad you know, and I hope that you're working towards a different life. Love that for them. Love that for her, calling out this content creator saying, girl, it's getting to a point where this is just, it's too much. We've all seen it be too much. That Samara, that person can draw me up a wall like Lily Tino. Ooh. Jump scare.
And I don't encourage weight loss because it's unethical.
How could you not encourage weight loss if it's going to be something that can help improve the livelihood of said person?
I remember, like, I don't understand. Somebody can utter the words, I don't support weight loss. Weight loss, in and of itself, is a, no pun intended, a positive thing. Why would you not support that? It's something that's, by definition, healthy. Now, of course, it could get into a dangerous level. You getting too skinny, that's a problem, but it's trying to manage your weight. That's all it is. Just manage your food intake. Manage your weight. Nobody expects you to be a chiseled god, but we don't want you to be skinny as a rail or as big as a house. There's a happy medium.
This goes back to the beginning of the video where I was mentioning how we become too empathetic. We become too nice, too caring, where we're not just being blunt and real. If them being big is quite literally harming them and affecting them, you're doing a disservice just lying to them and just saying, no, I'm not going to recommend that you lose weight. You're very happy right now. Eating food is what makes you comfortable. That's what you're doing. We will work around that. No, we're too damn nice. That's what it is. That's what it is. We're too nice. We're too caring, too empathetic in this society to the point where it's become fake. It's become fake. It's become fraudulent. And nothing... Are we going to keep it real? Can we keep it real, you guys? Can we? Because when I see a content creator and they're really big or just an obese person, and I look in the comments and it seems like to be all the girls. A lot of girls, they have like the one big girlfriend, the big girl in the group, and they'll post on Instagram.
Yeah, you notice, hey, bring it up. There is a very interesting thing. Notice, because guys, we tend to be real with each other. Girls do not. At least most girls do not. Guys, if we're going hanging out with each other or whatever, a guy would be more real with another guy and was like, dude, you're getting too doggone skinny, you need to eat a sandwich, or dude, you're getting too big, you need to, like, hit to the gym with me, like, dude, you're getting fat as fuck, or dude, you skinny as a rail, dude, like, come on. Like, we tend to be a lot real with each other, and that's a mark of a good friend because we're trying to help each other. Sure, there might be a little bit of roasting because we're guys, we tend to do that. But girls like to either lie to each other maliciously, or they're just trying to cover their little feelings. It's like, I'm trying to be a girl's girl. It's like, no, you're setting your girl up for failure. If you don't be real with her now, she's going to cause going through pitfalls in the future because nobody bothered to properly inform her. Try to, set her up for success. And now you get women like this who can't even be direct and honest. They gotta tiptoe around words. It's like, I don't like to use the O word. You get women like that where they get toxic positivity, where you're too nice about every little thing. You tiptoe around your words just to not worry about, because you're too obsessed with other people's little feelings. And it's like, and I blame people telling their little anecdotal stories years ago about oh, I lost my friend due to unaliving themselves because somebody said certain words that made them feel a certain way. It's because of those little weird little stories that, certain women get absorbed through osmosis. Like, oh my God, I don't want to somebody to unalive themselves because of what I said. Let me police my words, and I want to tell other people to police their words because we don't want people to unalive themselves. And it's like, there's bedside manner, and then there's have to be honest. And sometimes you got to be direct and honest. Despite, what it might make them feel. Sure, it might sting a little bit at first, but it's going to help in the long run. If they are made of tougher skin or have some made of stronger stuff, rather letting it cripple them. These are words. Is direct, simple, honest. They get a point across. I'm not saying that you should be a jerk, but you can be honest with somebody. Guys do it all the time.
Instagram, and then all their comments like, oh my gosh, slay, you ate, body looks great, you're beautiful. Why are you lying? Let it be group of dudes. Bro, you're getting fat. You need to lose weight. You need to get on a treadmill. Your legs are skinny, your arms are skinny. Men will tear each other down respectfully because we care. Because of out of love and respect, because we know the capability that our bros have. When my male friends are around, I know what they're capable of. I know the kind of hard work. I expect better of them. I'm going to keep it blunt. I'm going to keep it real. If you're getting fat, I'm saying you're getting fat. If you're getting too thin, I'm saying you're getting too thin. You need to work out. And I expect the same from them to me. Amir, you're getting pudgy. Amir, you need to work out this. You need to do this. Thank you. That's a sign of a real friendship. But if I'm sitting here big as hell and I need a robe the size of a fucking carport, I need a car cover, and my comments like, you're beautiful, queen, slay. That's fake as it is. And I always only see it with women. Let me know in the comments below if I'm tweaking or not. But I feel like I only see that with women. Just women. So caring.
They're too obsessed with their feelings.
Oh, you're fine. You're beautiful how you are. Body positivity, love, acceptance. No. It is the fakest shit I've ever heard. And it's gotten to the point where you got therapists, activists, doctors saying, I'm not going to say obese. That's a slur. I'm not going to advise somebody to lose weight. That's going to hurt their feelings. F them. Hurt the feelings. So sometimes you need to be dragged through the mud. Your feelings need to be hurt in order for you to make action. Some of y'all do need your asses lit on fire so you can act and change your damn life. But you're not going to do that if you're sitting around a bunch of friends that are just coddling you. A bunch of yes men. A bunch of people that are, you're beautiful. You're doing this great. You're doing this great. You're doing this great. That is the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life. You need friends that are going to keep it real. You need doctors that are going to keep it real. You need people in your life, in your circle, that is going to tell you how it is. And remember, you don't have to be offended by everything. You don't have to take everything personal. Sometimes these things are said to you because they're meant to help you. Just because you're hurt does not mean the words were hurtful. Like, just because you got hurt by a word doesn't mean the intent behind that was to hurt you. You got hurt because it's real. If a friend saying, hey, girl, you getting fat. You're like, oh my gosh. She called me big. Are you? Did they just call a spade? And now you...
And then they gotta... And that's the problem with female relationships. That's why, some women acknowledge the fact that, female... There's no such thing as like a real... I don't say no such thing, but they're very rare to have like true friendships among other females because they either backstab you or they're two-faced or they can't keep it real with you because they worry about your little feelings. They want to be girls too bad. They can't sit there and tell you what's real. And if you go against the grain, they tend to, be passive aggressive or ostracize you from the group until you conform to their group think. Why do you think they got the terms like pick me from other girls? Because they point out the fallacies of the femininity group or like the feminine, or like point out the fact that men are suffering and most of it is females' fault. But they get called pick me's and all this stuff, trying to shame women because they're not in the group think. They're not like agreeing and enabling each other. They're not wallowing each other's misery. They're making them feel bad. So they're gonna, talk crap behind their back and ostracize them from the group because they're not like in the hand-holding share circle sisterhood. That is a problem. That's why like men tend to have better friend groups. That's why there are females that I know who rather have friendships with men rather than females because the fakeness. And I honestly don't blame them because there are some fake females out there in the world. It's very, I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's in a low percentage of fake male friendships. Very low percentage. A guy will have to actively be a complete douche to show that he's not a real friend. You have to really try. And guys tend to make sure they surround themselves with legit real dudes who we can have like some camaraderie with and who can be real with each other.
Took it a certain way because she just made a freaking observation. What are we doing here? It's sad, and that's what this all the whole body positivity and fat acceptance. Why I don't like it. A lot of other people don't like it because it's fake, it's phony, it's fraudulent, and it's hurtful. It is not good for society. It is disappointing seeing the amount of large people in the United States. It will never fail to blow my mind. Even living in the South, and when I go out there to Gatlinburg and go to Dollywood, they got a whole ass carport. What's them damn things? You know, the scooters, the electric scooters where you sit down like in a grocery store with a little basket. They got a whole little center of just that. And big people just rolling all around Dollywood. We all are already dying as it is. You can't even see it because I'm too black, but I got a tattoo. It's the end of a stopwatch because we never know when we're gonna die. Whenever I look at my wrist, I'm like, you know what? I could die right now. And that motivates me, that inspires me, it drives me so much to make sure that I'm always trying to live the most authentic life that I can because time is limited and everybody got time to be a fake bitch, phony bitch, and we ain't got time for none of that, okay? And I also don't have time to be wheeling around on a scooter at a theme park. I don't have time. If I already know I'm gonna be dying and I don't know when, why would I be doing things and eating things nonstop that are gonna make that happen faster? That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. You got no business eating half the shit that y'all be eating. You don't. You have no business needing a scooter to roll around somewhere. Is that who you want your kids to look up to? Is that what you want people to see you? And like, that's jarring. That's not motivating. It's not inspiring. It just says so much about you, and it's sad. And I know there's people out there that have medical issues, and that's a separate thing. But in large part, it is self-inflicted. It is self-inflicted in this damn country, and it is sad.
Do you want to know how fat phobia impacts everybody? I'll tell you. Food stamps. SNAP. Yeah. A lot of the people who are coming out being like, oh my God, what did you do with last month's money? What are you doing with all this money? Are you buying processed foods that make you fat and lazy? Yeah. What did you all think was happening when fat people kept saying fat phobia impacts us all? In fact, it's being written into our policies. Fat phobia is being written into our policies. And yet people will just swear up and down that fat phobia ain't that fucking serious. When they're specifically using fat phobia to justify why
phobia is fear. No one's afraid of fat people. We're concerned for people who are, crazy big. We're concerned about women or people who are crazy skinny. We're concerned. Hell, even there are probably people who are out there who are just downright disgusted by it. But there's no fear. It's not like hydrophobia. It's not like what's the fear of heights? Whatever. But there's no fear. There's no claustrophobia. It's not the same as like claustrophobia or hydrophobia. There's like, but the whole phobia thing has been misused, honestly, in my opinion. Like, nobody's afraid of trans people. Nobody's afraid of gay people. Nobody's afraid of fat people. Nobody's afraid of skinny people. There's no fear about it. It's more so concern. You're unhealthy. There's concern there.
People should have enough next month, despite people spending their money from month to month. A majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck at this current juncture.
I used to be of the mindset that eating healthy is...
Now, of course, I do understand there are certain areas in society that doesn't have like access to healthy food options, but you gotta try. The onus is still on you. Like, and sure, there's expenses, but I'm pretty sure you can go to Aldi's or like Julasco or whatever these general stores and actually find like just vegetables. Make it like a vegetable night, or just make it like a healthy sandwich, or like something lean and something that products that help you at least get like at least something to help. Sure, you can't get like the advanced stuff, but you can get something that like can still do the job.
Expensive. It can be. If you're going the all organic route and that whole route, yeah, it can rise up quickly. But I also learned that if you go to Walmart and you get some Tupperwares and you literally get a big old tube of ground beef, you get a pack of chicken breast, some broccoli, some rice, maybe some bell peppers, cook that up for the week, You're done. You can make $20 last an entire week. You can't, it will be boring and it will be dry, but you will live. And if you are on SNAP and you're dependent on the government, you're dependent on other people's tax money to survive, then you should be doing just that, surviving. There's no reason food stamps should be funding soda, chips, processed food. No, I want to get rid of food stamps and just send out HelloFresh boxes of literally the most bare bones ever. Like, I'm talking a tube of ground beef, chicken breast, box of cereal, the eggs, and keep it pushing. It is very cheap. Very.
Now I'm thinking about it. I do want to give me some fruit salad, because I really love fruit salad. I like mixed fruit, because it's been a minute. Because I like snacking on that. This is one of my favorite things to snack on. Is like a big thing of mixed fruit, especially pineapple.
Very, very cheap to eat clean and eat healthy. Go to Aldi's, spend $100 and watch how long that will make it stretch. Watch it. When you're on here DoorDashing food, half y'all got no business DoorDashing. DoorDashing is expensive. It is expensive. Half y'all got no business DoorDashing all the type of food. And then you want to talk about, well, I have to eat processed food because it's cheaper. You can just eat the bare bones food and be fine. And it's not fat phobic to call it. I'm so sick of these damn phobics. Everything's phobic. That's what I was talking about in the other video. Damn it. If someone's like, oh, this person's fat phobic, they're probably my friend. Because at least they keep it real with people. Oh, that person's racist. Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, this person's homophobic. What up, fam? Like, what do these words even mean anymore? You're saying, oh, it's fat phobic that the government's saying you shouldn't be using food stamps for soda and chips and candy. Have you lost your damn mind? These big people. These big people, y'all. I can't. I
look like the first fucking fat housewife of Beverly Hills. I'm gorgeous. I got they, thems, he's, she's coming out of my ears. I can anybody on the street.
Why are you lying to yourself? I'm being so honest. I'm not even trying to clown you.
She look like she blows on the Jersey Shore. I'm not gonna lie.
I can have sex with anybody. This is a result. This is what I'm talking about. Them comment sections. This is the result of having all your homegirls, random strangers hype you up, gas you up. Oh, you look beautiful. You are good. You are this or that. No, you are not. You're not. That's disgusting.
And watch her, like, when a girl be like our true friend and be real with her, watch her turn on the waterworks and all those so-called friends who've been gassing her up shame that woman. Like, oh my God, you're being so mean. How can you be? It's a nice way to saying it. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. Like you're not being a real friend and blah blah blah. You're so hateful. You're so mean. And it's like all this other stuff. Because you made her cry and all this stuff. You should apologize. And then not be that woman's friend, who's probably being the realest person out of the group. But then she's the one that's ostracized for being real. And you let your so-called friend get this big, and then you got the nerve calling the woman pointing out not being a friend, who she's probably being the most realest of friends. This is why most women don't have like true female friendships, because they set each other up, whether inadvertently or advertently, set them up for failure. Because they're not being honest, because they're too worried about their feelings, or they don't want to leave the sisterhood, because they don't want to be ostracized or exiled from the group. Because I guess it's so hard to make legit, real female friendships. So they kind of take what they can get most of the time. But yeah, this is like, ladies, you got to be honest with each other. And if they're trying to shame you for being like mean, or you're being mean, you're being a pygmy, or you're being like you're not a true friend, you're not a girl's girl. If they try to hit you with all that stuff, you take that as a good sign and say like, oh well, then I'll find some real friends who can acknowledge some self-awareness and who can take criticism to heart without it being like a whole WWE3 out of it.
Disgusting. It's unhealthy. It's not hateful to call that out. It's not hateful to say that, but to sit here in front of my face, everybody's face, and just proclaim on a show like looking like this, that you could walk down the street, you are big plus size, but plus size version of Real Housewives, and you can bang anybody you want. You've lost your damn mind, and that's a result of a very empathetic society, fake phony society that just hypes up this body positivity even when it's harmful. This is not.
I bet you that within a year or two, half of those people probably won't be alive because of their unhealthy lifestyle. Or, bright side, they can probably look back on this or at least have some come to Jesus moment and realize, okay, maybe I need to like hit the gym, or have some doctor who actually have to put it plainly, like you're in a critical point. You need to like really take stock in your health, and they'll force them to try to hit the gym. And watch how their perspective shifts, their personality shifts when they start dropping a few lbs and they start wearing clothes they never thought they would ever wear before. Watch that like personality kind of shift. Watch their like tears envelop their face when they're like, oh my god, I feel like a brand new woman and everything like that. Watch how that perspective shifts, because when you look better, you feel better, your confidence increases. That it does wonders for a person's self-esteem. Once that body positivity goes out the window like that.
Good. And what bugs me the most about all this whole conversation around fat acceptance and body positivity is the lies. Because I've done other videos highlighting this whole movement of the big plus size people, and especially some of these influencers, they're all dead. Like 8 of them have died already because they've just been so gluttonous. Eat it. Yummy, 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 baby, let me hit it. Beyonce reference, leave me alone. They too busy eating it where they're dying. One of these girls, I'll put her up on the screen now, she was a big plus size advocate and body positivity, fat acceptance, until she realized like, oh, people in my circles are dying. This actually isn't a good life. This isn't a desirable life. Hello, Lizzo lost so much weight, and she's like always looking back at her old self, and it's like, girl, you were pushing this too, this whole body positive movie, love myself, love my big roles. Why? It is crazy like watching someone that big, like, oh, you can't say the word obese or us, anybody will want to do me. That's what happens when you're like hyped up about all this.
And Lizzo and Adele got so much crap from like these fat acceptance movements, or just women in general, because they, well, whether they realize it or not, kind of led this whole body positivity, fat acceptance little brigade, and women like ate that crap up, no pun intended. And once they started losing weight, they felt cheated in a way. It's like, oh my god, like, because now they have to take some kind of stock with them themselves. Like, oh my god, like, I have nobody representing me now because all my idols are losing the weight, and like, you know, because if Lizzo did it, it makes them feel better because Lizzo can be as big as a house and still be accepted, so I don't have to work on myself. But as soon as that all shifted, now it's like they don't got nobody to worship in a way, nobody to idolize that looks like them. Now they have to reevaluate their reality, which is kind of painful for them to imagine. But honestly, it's probably the best thing to happen for them, where they got no kind of safety there or outlet to kind of like make it an excuse to be that big. There's no excuse. Not that there ever was an excuse, but there's no, there's no outlet to make that okay. Once you remove that, now they have to make the change. Darwinism will have to take effect. Either crumble up and die, or you adapt. It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways.
But you're living in this alternate society. This alternate
and I'm not
world.
saying like you need to look like, Beyonce, but you have to be in a healthy, reasonable weight.
My mind. But as always, let me know in the comments below what you think. What are your opinions on all this body positivity movement, fat acceptance? Do you feel like it's actually been harmful? And are you glad there's been more of this way? Maybe I should make a whole video on the GLP-1s and like Ozempic and all that, because I see you get a lot of hate. But like, damn, can people not win? If we're gonna complain about body positivity, and we're gonna complain about big people, and now we see all these big people losing weight, how you gonna be mad at that too? I ain't got no problem with it. The peptides, the GLP-1s, Ozempics, I have no issue with it, as long as it's used safely and you're not on it for life and you're using it as a launch pad to get you where you want to be and it's working for you. I mean, shit. I want people to be healthy. I want you to be your best version of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I have my personal, issues with Ozempic and how that might, A, it's a cheat, and B, is it seems like there's some kind of there's probably some long-term effects that we're not seeing right now that might be a problem down the line for people who took Ozempic, because it's like those who took Ozempic, they kind of like crap. What's her name from the movie Trainwreck? That comedian lady. Amy Schumer. She took Ozempic and she kind of looks off. Like her head's kind of big, and I don't know. It's just like there's like some weird look to them for those who took Ozempic. Instead of like, because especially if you're rich, you can afford the best dietitians. You can afford to spend time in the gym as much as you want and lose weight naturally, which people should in general lose weight naturally. But I think like Ozempic should be reserved for those who are 400+ pounds. I think that should be utilized for them. But people try to use shortcuts all the time. But but hey, at least we're getting out of this whole fat acceptance, body positivity shtick, and now embracing a health conscious society, especially in America, where it's like it's too many like big people out there. There's a problem. Anyway, I'm curious to know what you guys think. I will see you guys for the next one. Drop a comment below. Give me your thoughts on the subject, and and I'll see you all soon. Take care.